Good morning. We are out here at Trousdale Correctional Facility in Trousdale County, where you can see that there is a really heavy police response, and that is because of a overnight riot here caused by unknown at this time, but this is something that we'll continue to follow up on. Now, that whole riot started around 10 p.m. and lasted about 2 hours, but authorities spent a lot of the night kind of locking down the facility and making sure that all of the inmates are accounted for. Now, we don't have a video, but you can see that, again, there is a huge response out here this morning, and officials say that inmates rioted inside of the Trousdale Correctional Facility just before 10 p.m. Sunday. Now, the Trousdale County Sheriff says that inmates temporarily overtook several different officers. We know that 3 for sure. 2 of them were outside in that prison yard, but a few of them were also inside the prison. We do know that several of those prison guards were able to lock themselves in different facilities before law enforcement showed up and took care of the situation. But we do know that inmates actually started to set fires out in the prison yard, and that is something that was considered, again, a riot out here. Now, more than 100 officers responded, including teams from multiple different counties. We do know Sumner County also arrived, and then we also know that THP is out here, as well as Wilson County Sheriff's Office. But again, that is all helping the Trousdale County Sheriff's Office, who first arrived to the scene. But again, it was more than 100 officers who arrived, and you can see a lot of them still out here this morning. But at one point, they also had 3 drones in the air to kind of oversee the situation, make sure that none of these inmates were escaping the prison yards out here. But authorities say that no inmate ever left the prison, and no one, inmates or officers, were seriously injured. Now, we do know that there were reports of maybe possible injuries, but most of them could be minor at best. Now, again, like I mentioned, they set up a perimeter outside when they first arrived here, all the way around the prison, and then kind of waited for the response team to get there, as well as THP. Once they got here, they went in and they were able to push them out, shooting tear gas into the yard, and that kind of brought everyone back into their cell blocks. Now, they got them all locked back up, and now they are doing a head count. We do know that this head count could take several hours. Again, this started at 10 p.m. overnight, and it has been kind of going on throughout the day. But I do know that that riot, again, lasted about 2 hours, and then they were able to kind of get everything under control, and they have been doing this head count since. Now, the reason why this head count could be taking long is because there is about 2,500 inmates locked or housed away in this facility. Now, again, like I mentioned, a head count is still underway, and Sheriff Russell confirms that the community was never in danger, and says that, again, we do know that there are multiple different complaints and stuff that we have covered in the past, and he does believe that there are ongoing issues that need to be addressed with that private company, CoreCivic, who runs the prison. Now, he also told us that the new warden has been on the job just a few weeks before this incident, so he is also very new to this situation. And he, according to the sheriff who got in here first, was able to go into the main facility and kind of watch things go down over those security cameras. He said that the warden did a good job at that, but of course, being said, there is going to be an investigation into what caused the riot out here, and then also figure out how these prisoners were able to take over the guard. Now, like I mentioned, this is the farthest from the first incident reported here at Trousdale Turner. I'm breaking down, of course, in the next half hour on Fox 17 News, 5:30, just about the recent incidents and the recent problems that they have had here. I can kind of break that down for you guys right now. From what we know, we have covered a lot of trouble at Trousdale before, from staff shortages, security failures, and then also a lot of inmate complaints, several hundred inmate complaints. Now, like I mentioned, this prison is operated by CoreCivic, which is a private company, and they have faced huge criticism across the country. And just as I mentioned before, the new warden here has only been on the job just for a few weeks, but he does face a full-scale review after the overnight riot, as well as those several guards who were overtaken. Right now, you can see that there are a lot of police out here. kind of posted up, like, while they do this head count, it's unsure where they are in that head count process, but with 2,500 inmates, you can imagine that it would take quite some time. Again, several hours, but it is, again, unsure exactly how these prisoners were able to overtake the guards. Now, to break it down one more time, the Trousdale County Sheriff's Office says that several hundred inmates rioted Sunday night, overtaking about 3 prison guards. 2 of them were actually seen outside in the yard, and that is the 2 that were held hostage. These prisoners set a small fire in the yard, and then they also, again, prompted that massive response. We do know that over 100 officers from multiple different counties, Wilson, Sumner, every single county you can think of in a nearby radius, kind of came out here to help, along with THP, which is the Tennessee Highway Patrol. And then we do know that some of those counties even brought drones, and 3 drones were overhead deployed there, kind of just marking that perimeter, making sure that they could see everything from above. We do know that there were complaints or possibilities that a prisoner or prisoners were on top of the roof, but the sheriff says at this point that is not true. So that is something, again, kind of waiting to get more information to see if that could possibly be true, but that is from a few viewers who told us that. Now, again, they said that they did not see anyone leave the facility, so there are no prisoners and no one is in danger in the nearby area. Now, Sheriff Ray Russell says that this is, again, like a latest example about growing issues that people have been warning about. I did mention those major complaints that we have gotten here from Trousdale Turner, and then their response to Core Civic, which is, again, that private company. Fox 17 News has covered multiple different incidents about and at Trousdale Turner, including, those staff shortages, security failures, and multiple different inmate complaints. Now, like I mentioned, Core Civic, a private company, is the ones who run this prison, and they have faced major criticism across the country. This, of course, is a story that we will continue to follow, but I do want to throw in there one more time that no one was majorly, majorly injured. We do know that there were minor injuries, but no one was sustained, pretty heavy or serious injuries, and so that is good news. That is including both officers and inmates alike. Now, again, this head count is still underway. We're talking 2,500 inmates who are housed here at Trousdale Turner Correctional. So this is something that we'll continue to follow. Again, we're going to continue to follow everything that is going on out here, but I do want to throw in there one more time that this is an issue that has been going on for quite some time, and it is maybe about time that they will take a closer look into exactly what is going on here at Trousdale Turner. I do know that, again, no officers or inmates were injured in this riot overnight. It started around 10 p.m. and lasted about 2 hours. So, again, we're going to continue to follow this story, and we'll give you guys latest updates right here online and on our web, of course, and then also on air at Fox 17 News.